Hello everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I'm gonna go through Bitcoin and the cryptos. I'm not gonna go through too much in detail into each one of them, but just it has to be talked about. I think Sunday was just a really brutal day on low volume, and it doesn't really take a whole lot of volume to reverse a lot of the crash that we really had. And certainly looks like it's a big giant reversal right now on Bitcoin. Again, this daily chart, this daily candle is going to close by 7 o'clock tonight Eastern. So far, you got a little bit of bullish engulfing, big giant wick below. These things are generally very bullish. It happens on huge volume too, big demand, big reversal. The whole dump over the weekend was happening on low volume. It was also happening where it was kind of breaking down a rising 20-day moving average. Whenever it's rising, generally these things are not that much of a not that much of a resistance. It can serve as better support, but I just decided to just dump and cause a big giant wick down below. So something was really fishy about this, something extremely fishy about it, and it was happening on news too. So it just makes you wonder what happened there. So when I was looking at that, I was like, okay, so I see an opportunity here to potentially buy, but things look really, really bad. Sentiment was extremely horrible. I don't know what else to do besides trying to buy some altcoins. Now, altcoins got destroyed a lot more than that. Ethereum got completely destroyed and it's still not really recovering very well. But let's talk about Bitcoin first, right? I think it's probably going to hit the 20-day moving average as resistance here now. And when it does, I think it might initially get rejected, but I think it's going to reclaim that because it's positive sloping. So I don't think it's going to serve as pretty bad resistance here at all. Plus the volume and this big giant wick behind it is just extremely impulsive. So I think it's probably going to be okay. I think this is probably going to be the bottom. And I was kind of sharing with my YouTube members as well as my subscribers here too. I really thought that this fractal over here, I'm going to turn on volume here so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to turn off the Tenkan and Kijun here on the Ichimoku. Not that. But I'm going to turn off the conversion base or Tenkan and Kijun here on the Ichimoku, and I just kind of zoom out here. You see how it touched the 2-day Ichimoku cloud here almost perfectly, right? And the last time when it did that, it touched it, but then bounced through underneath, and it just kind of got back above. The time before that, it almost touched it right there, right? Very nice fractal here. And time before that, again, bounced from the cloud, went underneath, and then went back through, right? Time before that, bounced over there perfectly. So it seems like this wants to kind of use the 2-day Ichimoku cloud here, just kind of serve alternate as support, and then end up breaking down, hit a false breakdown, push through support, push through, broke down, reclaim it as support, and then push through. Right now, we just kind of use that as very, very strong support zone over here. We bounce very, very powerfully over there. So I was looking at it this morning, and before Bitcoin pumped, I was like, yeah, actually looks pretty good here. Sure enough, it pumped. So what does it mean for like the rest of crypto, right? Well, first of all, looking at the crazy Bitcoin dominance, it just went nuts overnight. It just went absolutely nuts, and it was all happening on some pretty strong bearish divergence where RSI was going down and Bitcoin dominance just kind of keep going up, right? So there's a lot of resistance here because there's a loss of momentum. That's what basically bearish divergence here telling you. There's a lot of loss of momentum. This could be potentially be the top. I don't know for sure, but this could potentially be the top. If not, it might make another like slight higher high on exhaustion, then that's fine. But it looks like Bitcoin dominance is really just kind of pushed through its limits over here overnight. So I don't know whether or not you're going to have continuation of Bitcoin dominance just keep on going up. I think 61, 62% is pretty good. It went as far as like 64%. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Altcoins getting destroyed, right? The biggest altcoin, Ethereum, what happened? Well, it just had a big giant wick down below. They're trying to test grab liquidity. It's still underneath the weekly Ichimoku cloud here, unfortunately, right? It's still underperforming, but if you're looking at the weekly chart here, looking at the Bollinger Band, it basically just touched up a Bollinger Band, decided to touch all the way down to the Bollinger Band, had a wick, touched it, bounced hugely. And right now you still have a little bit of a positive sloping 20 weekly average. We'll see whether or not that could potentially serve as, resistance here whenever it decides to go up and challenge it again. But if you look at the monthly, it basically just bounced right out of the 20-month moving average. It did that multiple times. You're building up a very, very powerful base. You have resistance here turn support, right? So potentially some pretty decent thing would happen with Ethereum moving forward. On top of that, you're also looking at the monthly Ichimoku cloud, bounce off the Kijun, bounce off the cloud. A lot of liquidity was grabbed. Here you have 3 inside candles here so far of this big giant November candle. It favors further bullish continuation whenever it decides to happen, right? Very, very nice liquidity grab here. It is what it is. It is what it is. XRP, what did it do? Come back to this Tengen Kijun here on the monthly. And also on top of that, also was way outside the upper Bollinger Band on the monthly, decided to come back and touched it, right? What else is concerning about it? Nothing. It backtested 0.86, backtest the horizontal gain level over here, bounced, right? So it's still trying to challenge its previous all-time high wick over here, but I think once you get through, it's going to go up to probably around $8, sometime around 2025, $8 or $9, somewhere around there. That's what I think. Dogecoin, what did it do? Well, it broke down underneath the arc over here, which is unfortunate. I was hoping that the arc would hold like it did last cycle. This is basically the same exact area where we're at right now. Over here, it was between the 0.76 and 0.618. Over here, what are we doing right now? Over here is still between the 0.76 and 0.618. That's still the range. You have a very nice hammer bottom over here. This is still just Monday, so we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But so far is promising. Huge demand down below. On top of all that, it basically just trying to reclaim the Bollinger support band right above, right, which is kind of where it got broken underneath. So we'll see whether or not we can reclaim that as well as reclaim the arc. But so far, having a nice hammer candle here is a good thing to have. Shiba, it broke down underneath my angle, broke down underneath the horizontal, broke down underneath the arc over here. Back tested all 3, bounced hugely, right? And it just basically looks like it wants to hold the angle over here. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But if it's able to hold the angle, then I think it would probably push through the arc and probably challenge some of the higher stuff here whenever it decides to go, right? Even Bonk is looking pretty decent here. Back test the arc down here, form a nice hammer, right? Pepe is one of those, I don't know what to do with it. Broke down underneath the 1.272, but it's forming a very nice hammer here too, right? This is happening across the board, by the way. HBAR, also the same thing, big giant hammer candle, back test 0.618, holding very, very nicely, right? XLM, Stellar, very, very nice hammer candle. Solana, very nice hammer candle. Didn't even really touch the 0.86. This is how bullish it is. Chainlink, very nice hammer candle, right smack into the confluence of the arc and the angle over here. Found support. I think it's going to end up building enough energy to push through the arc up here. It's going to probably gravitate up here to the higher arc whenever it decides to do so. But I'm feeling pretty bullish about it. ADA, what did it do? ADA bounced perfectly off of the bottom of the arc and confluence with the top of the Ichimoku cloud here on the weekly. It's just absolutely amazing what the market makers are doing. Just absolutely amazing. Also bounce out of the Bollinger support band here too, right? Bollinger support band is right there. Bounce off of that. Beautiful bounce. Sway, hammer, holding the 1.414, holding the arc. Jasmine, hammer, nice angle hold over here. Also holding the Ichimoku cloud over here still, right? All of these are just absolutely beautiful. You're talking about Avalanche, back test of 0.382 here, right? Still underneath resistance of the Ichimoku cloud, but that's okay. Still underneath the resistance bonus support band, but that's okay, right? Still got a nice hammer over here, bounce off a very important fit level, right? AMP, what happened? Bounce off of the arc over here, right? It just basically just had to come back test the arc over here. What are we doing in terms of the Ichimoku? Let me go ahead and just pull that up here. Look at the 2-week Ichimoku here. It basically is still within Ichimoku cloud with a big giant hammer, right? Like it's not a bearish look to it. A couple other ones that are popular, talking about Randor. Randor also had a hammer right spec to 0.786, found huge demand. FET or Fetch AI basically backtest the horizontal gain level here, found a big giant hammer candle, right? It looks like wants to gravitate back up towards the arc over here. Cody is one that I have decided to brutally come back test the bottom of the arc over here, pass, form big giant hammer candle. one of my dog here, which is Cortesi, came back test to arc, back test the previous low over here, found support, big giant hammer, right? Near, beautiful back test here off the angle and the arc over here, big giant hammer, right? They all of them just look absolutely fantastic. I can keep going. I'm gonna probably just end here with the others chart, which is the cryptocurrency total market cap here, excluding the top 10 coins, right? And I've been looking at this index here for a very long time. Bounce off the 0.5, big giant hammer back to 0.382, huge demand, right? So like nothing really bad about it. Still underneath the bar support band, not the greatest, but if you look at the monthly here, bounce off the 0.5, right? Look at Ichimoku, bounce off the Kijun over here. We'll see whether or not the month end up closing about the Tengen here. If it closes about the Tengen, then we're going to really truly skyrocket. That's what it looks like to me. 20-month moving average, back tested almost perfectly, concluded with 0.382 here. I think it's going to go higher, guys. I think altcoin season is happening, and I cannot exclude Doge, Ethereum, or any of the other coins that you guys might be interested in. I just think that it's a very, very nice balance. When you don't die, sometimes great things happen. Sometimes I think that this is a little bit very, very similar of a liquidity grab or back test, very similar to the COVID candle over here. Huge demand. So if you find huge demand, I think generally this volatility is allowing price to go up a lot higher. I know it's kind of stupid to say. I was saying that yesterday. I got a bunch of trolls telling me, "Hey, you don't know what the heck you're talking about." Yesterday, so I'm going to talk about it again. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye.